and dictionaries, a few more things in Python, and then we'll actually start other logical statements वगैरह. अच्छा. Sure. Okay, I'll start with, let me open the chat box. Okay, so with sets, and previously somebody asked me that does the comments क्या कहते हैं, occupy memory? They do not occupy memory, because this is an object code. This is the code that we are writing. When we execute it, it goes through certain steps. It goes through processing, compiling, and linking, and then it is converted to the language of the computer. This is not exactly the language of the computer, but the language that could be converted into the language of computer, into the binary language. Okay? So these comments, when that compiling, when this object code is converted into exe file, during that process, these comments with a hash, in case of Python, it is converted into blank space. So they do not occupy memories. क्योंकि अगर execute नहीं हो रहा और अगर computers को ले ही नहीं रहा, so it will not occupy memory. So you can write as many comments as you want. Perhaps you can write as long code as you want. Okay, now we'll start with sets. So we studied that string is declared with क्या कहते हैं, double quotations. List is declared with क्या कहते हैं, square brackets, right? And then we studied tuples. Tuples are declared with parentheses. Today we are studying sets, and sets, wait a minute, let me comment them out. Okay, but this doesn't matter. Sets are declared with the curly brackets. This is how you declare sets. So whenever the computer sees these things, a double quotation, it knows, the Python knows that you're declaring a certain type of, you're declaring a certain data type. Okay, sets is perhaps a very small topic. Okay, let's start. Let's declare a set. Okay, this is the variable s. And with the curly bracket, you can add integers into it. You can add a floating point. You can add string value. Okay? You can add anything into this thing. However, a very strange things about set is actually a very important thing that you have to remember for sets is that the set, there is no indexing in set. Okay? We indexed in strings, lists, tuples, but there is no indexing in sets, and I'll tell you why. Acha, let me remove this. Okay, acha. We'll see why. And print. Wait a minute. Oh yes, thank God. Acha, so what happens in sets is, we were talking about memories, how these things, the values in these data types are saved in memories. So there are different types of memories. There's hash memory, and then there is stack memory. So when the string values or the lists or the tuples were saved in the memory, they were saved in form of the stack memory. For example, let me find a board. Acha, एक second. Yes, I can do it. Acha. So what happens is, for example, this is the stack memory. And for example, you said x is equals to 2, and then you saved another y is equals to some string value. I'm sorry for the writing, I'm using it for the first time, but I have to explain this. So what happened that x was stored over here, and then y was stored over here, and that's how the stack memory works. It works one by one as the line is executed, okay? Line by line. So it is saved that this will be the first point, this would be the 100 mark, for example, and then this will be 104, and they would uh, be in a sequence, okay? It is a stack. This comes first and then this comes. Similarly, in case of strings, there's indexing. We used to index 0, which started always with 0, and strings and list. However, for sets, there is a hash memory. So what happened is that the keys are already there, and hash keys seems looks like this. Some any random number. Okay? And these are already saved over here. I'm sorry for the writing. I'm literally using it for the first time. I don't even have a pen. Acha. And another would be over here. And when we save a set, तो जो set की एक value होती है वो इनके साथ जाके एक associate हो जाती है. For example, I made a set of 2, which had a 2, तो वो 2D में जाके save हो गया, X में 3.2 save हो गया, ठीक है? Where's the point? 2 से हो गया. तो जब printing होती है तो वो हमें नहीं पता होता कि वो किस ऑर्डर में इनको असाइन कर रहा है. वो रैंडम ऑर्डर में असाइन करता है, DX, और ये ऑर्डर हर बार चेंज होता है जब भी आप कोड रन करते हो. तो अगर D2 एक बार इसको हुआ है तो अगली बार 2 हो सकता है X को हो जाए. For example, let me go back to the code. So you see, there was at index 0. Again, if there was indexing in sets, there would have this would have been 0, this would have been 1, and then this would have been 2, right? And this would have been printed like this. However, the third one is printed first, and then the first and the second index is printed first, then the 0 index, and then the first index. However, पहले जब मैंने इधर कुछ और डाला हुआ था, तो वो सीक्वेंस उस सीक्वेंस में भी आ सकता है, ठीक है? It's a random thing. You can do it multiple times, and there would be multiple outcomes. Okay, so there is no indexing in sets. However, and there is no duplication in sets as well. Why there is no duplication? Because if 2 is assigned to a hash value, the next 2 will also be assigned to that exact hash value. So when you're printing it, तो वो एक जो वो value होगी, जो वो memory में एक hash value होगी, उसमें तो एक ही बार print होना है. तो वो जो आपने 2-3 बार 2 लिखे हुए थे, वो एक ही बार print होगा, ठीक है? Okay, that's set. And then yes, so we'll come to all the operations in sets which are otherwise available except for indexing and duplication. अच्छा, और जो sets का जो sets का क्या कहते हैं concept है, वो वही है जो हमने math में. What is happening? अच्छा. The concept of set is similar to that we have studied in mathematics in middle school and in high school, which is of a Venn diagram. Okay? This is a Venn diagram. I hope you all know it. This is, for example, set A, and this is set B. So there could be similar things, and there could be different things as well. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6. Okay, so the concept of set is same, and the new things that we will study with set is what we have been studying with set is union and intersection. So let's see this. Can you see this pie chart, right? Acha, एक second. Can you see it now? I'm sorry for that. Acha, so let's resume with the operations. So there is no indexing and duplication in sets. Acha, let's start with operations. So simple operations hai, it is mutable. You can add things, you can remove things, you can pop out things. So you can do multiple things with strings. Now let's declare a string. Uh, A is equals to, or let me say A is equals to, with curly brackets, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then let's add, okay, for adding a value, almost the syntax used for sets and for these simple operations is same as those that we have studied before. Okay, so let's move forward. To add, you write the name of this string variable dot add, and then parentheses, and since there is no index, or since we just read that there is no indexing in sets, तो इसलिए you just add exactly the value. अब ये नहीं बताते हो कि किस index पे add करनी है, but you just add it. So for example, if I want to add 6, it is added. ठीक है, we can print what is happening. We can print our set over here, and then we can also print our set over here. And let's print it out. Yes, it is added. Okay, let's move forward. Let's look at how to remove things. Okay, for removing, there are two things. There are two ways of doing it. So the first way is to write a dot. The keyword is discard bracket, anything that you want to discard. For example, I want to discard 6, and then let's print a again. It's here. Now, and another way is to use a dot remove 5, and then let's print our string again. And let's see. Good. However, there's a thing that, for example, I want to discard a certain thing which is not there. So these two functions will function differently. When you're writing a discard, when you're using the keyword discard, and you're writing its value inside the parentheses, if it is there, it will be removed. But if it is not there, it is not going to give you an error. However, if you use the keyword remove to remove a certain value from a set, then if the value is there, it will remove it. If the value is not there, then it will give you us a traceback. A traceback is an error. An error is that the 7 does not exist in this set. And so these two work differently. With the discard, you will not have a traceback. Traceback is the error. All right, so we can change it to 6 and our code worked perfectly. ठीक है, यहाँ पे कुछ भी change नहीं हुआ, तो उसने वही हमें print करके दे दिया. However, here we removed 6. So this was for remove. Now let's move forward with, okay, so there's another remove. If you want to remove with pop, and I want to pop 1, let's see. Oh, the pop cannot be used. Sorry. So wait a minute. Bit of a printed. It removed the first value. I think it removed a random value. Let's try it again, because since there is no um, indexing, तो pop usually पिछले data types में क्या करता था कि वो last index से जो भी value होती थी उसको remove कर देता था. However, since there is no indexing, so it is a random thing, and it just removed the first value in the set. जो कि perhaps उसको तब, let's see, just so it removes this first value. Achha. So these were the three ways to remove. You can also clear all the items from the क्या कहते हैं, set, which is a dot clear. It will remove all the values. Yes, so it is an empty set. Set hashtag is an empty set. And to delete the set, you just write del A. And that's how it is completely deleted. And I mentioned before, why do you have to delete, and then you can print, and we'll definitely have it traced back, because A is not defined. The A set is completely deleted. To clear or del में ये फर्क है, when you use the keyword clear, so it means that the set stays, however all the values are deleted inside it. However, there is a set which is an empty set, but there is a set. When you delete the set even with the values deletes completely. So if you try to print it out, it will give you an error. Okay. I cannot see. Acha. So now we'll move towards the most two important things in sets, which is intersection and union. So let's move towards union. Give me a second. I'm trying to share that. Okay, perfect. So let's work on union. So we know that what does union does? Union in a Venn diagram. Okay. In a Venn diagram. Sorry to God, in a Venn diagram, what it used to do, that it used to combine all of the values in a single set, right? For example, if there was 1, 2, 3, and then 5, 6, and 7. So a union was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? And intersection was, okay, what is the common values between the two sets, right? It's a very basic share screen. Okay, let's see the syntax for union. So there are two ways how you can do it. So the first way is you write, okay, let's declare two. Let's declare two sets. A is equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, and then B is equals to 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and now we have to see the union of it. Or maybe I can also add 4 over here. Okay, so A dot. So the first way of writing is A, the name of the first set, dot union, which is the keyword over here, then parentheses, and then our second name of the set. And save into another set, and let's print that set. Print C. Oh, and yes. And here we have it. See, the 4 is printed once. As I said, that the values will always be printed once because the both of the 4s or union में होता भी ऐसे ही है, मतलब when we started in our high school. So it's a thing that when it's saved, so there were 4 2's going inside the value, but since they were saved in the same hash value as we studied before, तो इसलिए वो एक ही दफा 4 प्रिंट करेगा क्योंकि वो हैश वैल्यू एक ही दफा प्रिंट हो रही है. Okay, good. Okay, let's move forward. Okay, so the second way you can find out union is to write print parentheses A, the name of the first set, then the straight line which is above, which will be above your enter hopefully, or next to the curly and the square brackets. उसके बाद अगर आप backslash है उसकी shift दबा के आप दबाएंगे तो ये आ जाएगा, ठीक है. And then this straight line, which is, and then capital B, right? This would also give us the union. So these were the 2 ways. Now let's see how can we find the intersection. So the for intersection, the first way to write is the name of the set dot intersection. You know, when you're writing, you can also see the keywords coming down. तो अगर आपको थोड़ी सी confusion हो तो वो अगर वो नीचे आ रहा है तो वो है, ठीक है. And then parentheses, and then the name of the second set, and then again we can print. We can actually save it, or we can just print it directly. And the other way is to print and say A and B. And this will give us, yes, so the only the 4 was the 4 was common, so we have this. So these were the 2 ways to find intersection, and that's all we have on sets. Do we have any questions? So I'll move forward to the next data type. Okay, so there is one more thing to find the difference between 2 sets, and that you can do. Is someone speaking? Sorry. So there is one more thing, and that is to find difference. And you can write print the name minus B, and we can print it. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so the difference of A and B is a set of elements that are only in A but not in B. So you can also do it other way around. B minus A would be the elements which are in B but not in A. Again, you see they are printed in a random order. So 8 pehle aa gaya hai, phir 5, 6, 7. So maybe sometimes you're getting in the right order, but that doesn't mean it's just a random process. It can come in the right order, it cannot come in the right order. Okay? So it's, yes, that's it. Do we have any questions? Okay, perfect. Okay, so we are moving to the next data type, which is dictionaries. अच्छा, dictionaries बहुत मजे की चीज है. Acha. So in dictionaries are also assigned with the curly brackets. However, let me write a dictionary and then I'll show you what it means. Just give me a second. Okay. Okay, so this is how you declare a dictionary. I'm going to explain कि अब ये मैंने लिखा क्या है. अच्छा, so the dictionary, each value in a dictionary, this is a single value. ठीक है? This in the list there was in the set, this was a value, then this was a second value, then this was the third value, and this was the fourth value. If there was a list, तो हर index पे value होती है. So this is a single. I wouldn't use the word value right now. I would use the word term. Okay, this is practically one thing. Now this one term consists of two parts. We can see over here. So these parts it's not necessary that the first part has to be an integer value and the second has to be an integer value, a string value. It can be other way around. However, this is an example. Okay? So the example is the numbers over here are the keys, and so the first thing is keys, then a colon, then the value which it is assigned to the key, and then a comma, and then the other values. So what happens is that, for example, let's look back to our school register. We all have a roll number, right? And every student in every batch in every class has a unique roll number. However, there could be two Aishas in the class, there could be Fatmas in the class, it could be two or more Mariams in the class. However, each of those Mariam, each of those Fatma, and each of those Aishas have a distinct roll number, right? So these values are practically roll numbers over here, okay, which are unique and which always be unique, and you cannot repeat them. These cannot be repeated. These string values, or in this case, which I have assigned, these values can be used more than once. However, they'll be assigned to these specific values. Okay, they can be same. So let's look at other characteristics of dictionaries and obviously of the operations. Do we have a question right now about how I have declared it? So basically, I'll just write it now as a comment. Okay, what is it? Okay, for example, roll. It always shows like this. What will happen if we print it? We are going to print it. If you just print the dictionary, oh, sorry, it was a capital D. My bad. It will print it as it is. However, we'll see that how can we print only the values or only the keys. ठीक है? तो इसके आगे बहुत बहुत से uses आएंगे, which you will also practice in assignments, and please do assignments. ठीक है? They are not marked. They will be marked. I will mark them for you, but उसका कोई आपको नुकसान नहीं होगा कि अगर आपके कट भी जाएंगे. ठीक है? वैसे आपको तो नहीं कहना चाहिए, तो ग्रुप में कहना चाहिए. अच्छा खैर, moving forward. So basically, this is, I'll comment it. So in a dictionary, basically it's curly brackets, and then it is keys, colon, values, and they could be either, they could be integer, they could be string values. तो एक खास limited चीज नहीं है कि सिर्फ ये ऐसे ही होगा. अच्छा, so you can print the keys only by writing d dot. Okay, so we have used capital D, let's use a small d so it's easier to type. Okay, and then if we only have to call out the keys, so we write the name of the dictionary dot keys, which is the keyword to call it, and then parentheses, and it hasn't printed it out. Currently, so this is my first time working with PyCharm. So it only printed the keys. Okay, let me write it down as well. Keys. Now to print the values, it's very similar to the way we did it right now. Print the name of the dictionary dot values parentheses, and the values will be printed. Okay, you can also see that they're also printed in a form of a list. Acha, so that's how you print them separately. Now let's get okay. So dictionaries are mutable. You can change, add values. You can edit the previous ones. Roll number, if this was a roll number, wrong roll number for Zoha, so you can edit it, and you can add new ones as well. Acha, so so this one single thing is called an item. Okay, and you can also print them out. And it prints everything out, and that separately. Okay, so it can be printed both ways. Okay, and now how do we update an item? For example, I have to write. Now let's move towards operations. Yes, there is indexing in dictionaries. They're very particular, and we'll be seeing. I'll come forward to it. I'll come towards it. Yeah, to it. Acha. Only the sets didn't had any indexing. All rest of the data types. This is the last data type that we are studying, and afterwards the coding will become very fun. But in those things, we have to use them for doing things. Okay, for coding. Or yes, this is the last data type. Acha, moving forward. How do we update dictionary? For example, I have the name was right, but the roll number was wrong. So how would you do that? So you'll write the name of the dictionary, you'll put square brackets, then the name, Zoha, and then you will change it. I'll change it to Zoha 20, and then we'll also print D, and here we, oh sorry, forget what I said. So whenever this is basically adding new thing. So when I'm putting this over here, this is the key. Let's do it otherwise around. So when you're declaring it, if you have to add a new key and you have to assign a value to it as well, so this is how you do it. You put you write the name of the data type, you put square brackets, then you add the key, and then is equals to whatever thing you have to assign it with. Also, I just did it other way around, which was Isha over here and the roll number over here, and it still worked, which means that the key and the values are not specifically in integers or strings. They could be other way around as well. Acha, to add an item in dictionary, we'll write, um, acha, this was how we did it. Now to remove the last item, we say, so this whole complete is one thing is an item. So we write the name of the dictionary. So this was to add the last value is, you write the name of the dictionary, which is D dot pop item, then parentheses, and then we can see by printing it out. And the new values is, yes, we didn't print it over here. D. And the new value went at the end. So we'll print D. Oh, traceback maybe also. Yes. So the last value is removed. So that was how we removed the last value. Okay, moving forward. To remove a particular item, we have to write the name of how to remove a particular item. We have to write the name of the dictionary dot pop, and then inside the dictionary we have to write the name of the key. So the key is let's remove this key, okay? And this key was our first one, and then we'll print, then we'll see. Okay, so there was this key Zoha 23,021 Zoha, and then I removed this. This will remove the whole of the item, not just the key, because key, the value was assigned to a key. So if you're removing the key, so obviously you're removing the value as well. They're a single item. Okay, so moving forward, and to delete, delete, I'll come at the end. The delete is always same, del, and then the name of the dictionary or the data type. Okay, I commented it out because I don't want to delete it at the moment. Okay, so if you have to copy a dictionary into a new one, for example, this was the roll number. So this is a very useless, sorry, operation, but there it is, so I have to teach it as well. So this is just d dot copy, and that's how it is copied. And then we can also print roll number, and here we have it. Yes, it's practically same, but you copied it into another variable. Okay. Then to delete a particular item, using index number, how do you do that? That's how to delete a particular item. With indexing, it is done by writing del dot d square brackets and then the index. Let's do 0. The Aisha should be gone, and then we'll print it out as well. I added this so that we know कि वो कौन से वाली story है. Okay, let's trace back. I'll see it later. Forget about this. So I'm very, very sorry for this. You can also find the length of the dictionary. And that is done by LEN and then the name of the dictionary. And then you can always print it out. It's 3 at the moment because we deleted a lot of things. So it counts a single item as 1. So this is 1, then 2, and then 3. इसके अंदर indexing भी काम करनी चाहिए. I don't know what problem is with it. So we can test. So we can also sort in our dictionary, and let's use the sort over here because अभी यहाँ पे delete नहीं हुआ. So the sorting is done by writing sorted parentheses and the name of the dictionary. And let's also put a marker. Marker is okay, yeah. Okay, this is sorted, and now 2320, which was added before at the end, is now sorted first. So what if we just print our dictionary? Okay, it still gives us. So that's how you sort it. So that's it. Do we have a question?
Yeah, I do. So they've written. Why have you written sorted as well? Like once the function, but then there's another string side by side. You
Over
have to
here?
write that. Yeah.
No, we don't have to write that, but see, I have printed a lot of things over here, so it would have been a mess to see which line are we exactly looking at. Since I went up, so पहले हम नीचे आके कर रहे थे, so we know what line we're looking, that is the last line. So it was easy to find out. However, I went